Okay, now this is just to set you up for what's coming in the coming days. Now, the thing is about it, it's something you've already done, but you have to be good at it. It's got to come pretty easy to you if you want to get this next thing we're about to cover. Because now, we know how to solve on the number line for the greater than or less than, but now here's what I need to do after this, okay? I need to show you how to graph when it's greater than or less than with y and x on an actual coordinate point, okay? So, I want to just remind you how you graph an equals, okay? Now it says y equals negative 5 times x plus 3. Now, to graph, you have to know where your x and y are at in the equation, okay? So I mark them off. Because sometimes they're on the opposite side, sometimes they'll be on the same side of the equals, but sometimes I'll only have one but not the other, okay? So that's your three kind of scenarios. So they're both here, okay? I have them both. And it looks to me like here my equals is, so since my equals is there, they're on different sides. So I want to zone in on this box here, okay? So opposite sides. Okay, so I need to use my slope and y-intercept to graph that is the best way to do it if they're on the opposite sides. Okay, now the slope can be found simply by looking in front of your x. It's negative 5. Okay, but we do not need that to be a fraction, so if it's we need to put a 1 under it. Okay. And then the y-intercept is this other number that's being added or subtracted to my negative 5x. In this case, it's positive 3. Okay. Now, to get this graphed, I graph my y-intercept first. Now, my y-intercept means either up or down. Well, in this case, it's up because it's positive. So I go to my graph and I go 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now I use my slope to get my other point, okay? It's rise over run, so the top part of the ratio means up or down, as you can see here. So my 5's negative, so it would be down, and then we're always going to go to the right. You notice how it's only to the right, okay? And that's not from the middle, that's from this first point. I go from here, okay? So I go down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and right 1, okay? And that's my line, and I'm good to go. Put arrows on both ends. Okay, make it kind of long too. Okay, now the next one. 2 times x plus 6 times y equals negative 18. So I need to say, okay, here's the x, here's the y. Now where are they at? Are they on opposite sides? No, they're not. They're on the same side, so they're on the same side. So I need to zero in on this box right here. It tells me how to set it up. Now, when they're on the same side, I use a table with the double zeros. Okay? Is the best way to do it. Okay? Now, I need to write the equation out twice before I find the numbers that go here. Okay, you need to write this out twice. So 2 times x plus 6y equals negative 18, and then just do it again. Okay, now, if your x is 0, that can be eliminated from the equation. Okay, so now it's 6 times y. You can dot the y. Just circle it. And we just need to divide. There's no adding or subtracting to it. It's just divided by 6. Okay? So I'm going to take negative 18 divided by 6, and I get negative 3. So my y-intercept is negative 3. Okay, now, if y is 0, we can scribble out the 6y. Okay? So 2x. So I dot the x out. And then I'd simply circle it, and all there is to do is divide, okay? So negative 18 divided by 2, it's going to be negative 9, okay? Okay, now I need to know how to graph the table. Some of you really struggled with that. I'm here to explain it. Now, on the x is left or right. Well, the 0 means stay, and then since this is negative, that would go to the left. Now the y is up and down, Okay, so the 3 is negative, so that would be down, and this would mean stay. Okay, so stay and go down 3. So 1, 2, 3. And then I go left 9 and stay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So 1 point is on each one of your axes. Okay. Okay, said that right. You have a point on each axis. Okay, my next problem. X equals -6. Okay, so I've got X. Well, the Y is not even here, so I'm going to jot down right away, no Y. There's only X. Okay, so I need to look down here. So I have no Y but only X. So this is how I'm going to set it up on this half here. Okay, now since there is no Y, I'm just going to have my Y be 1, 2, 3. Okay, just like it says. And your X is whatever the X is equal to, so in this instance it's -6. Okay, so now we just graph them. Okay, the X's is left to right, but these would all be left because they're all negative. And the Y is up or down, but they'd all be up since they're all positive. Okay. So I go left 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up 1. Left 6, up 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up 2, and then up 3. And then I have a line that goes straight vertical. Okay. Okay, my next problem. Again, we got to seek out the Y and the X. So they're both here. They definitely are both there. So it's either opposite sides or same side. So here's my equals. They're on opposite sides. So I want to zone in here and use the slope and the Y-intercept method. Okay, so my slope is whatever's in front of the X. In this instance, it's 1 over 3. Now we have a fraction, so that's good. And then the Y-intercept is a number that's being added or subtracted. Well, in this case, subtracted, so it would be -4. Okay, so I graph the Y-intercept first. Now that is an up or down, so in this case it would be down. And then my slope is up or down and then to the right. So we have a positive, so I'd go up and then to the right. Okay, so I plot this point here. I go down 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then from this point, when I do a slope, it's from the first point, not from the middle. Okay, I go up 1. And right 1, 2, 3. That easy. Okay. And you'll need to know this. The reason you're doing it again is to make the next coming days simpler. Okay, next one. 3 times X minus 2 times Y equals -12. So here's the equals, and I've got the X and the Y. And it appears to me they're on the same side. Okay, so same side means I'm going to look here. So I need to use the table where I do the double zero for each letter. Okay, it's not really a double zero, it's just what I call it. Okay, now we're going to need to write that out twice. So 3 times X minus 2 times Y equals -12, and then write it out again. Okay, so X is 0, so I get rid of 3X. And then I need to dot the -2. And then I just circle it. There's the only thing I have to do is divide. So -12 divided by -2 is 6. So if X is 0 and I take out the X, I get 6 for Y. Okay, now if Y is 0, we can eliminate the -2Y. And then I've got 3 dot X equals -12. So I just divide. And -12 divided by 3 is -4. Okay, so now remember, when we have this table, we need to know that X is horizontal. So this is stay and go left. This is go up and stay. Okay. All right, so I stay, go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I go back to the middle. When I'm using these tables, I need to always go back to the middle when I graph this because these go together and these go together. So this means when I get to here, it's back to the middle. So I go left 4 and stay, okay? Okay, my next problem, y equals 1/5 times x minus 2, okay? So the y and x definitely both here, okay? We have both of those. Now, where are they? They're on opposite sides or the same side, okay? So it looks to me like they're on opposite. So they're on opposite, I'm going with the slope and the y-intercept method. Okay, and the slope is whatever's in front of x, so 1/5. And then the y-intercept is my -2. Because 2 is being subtracted, so that would be -2. Okay, so the y-intercept is up or down. Y is always vertical, in this case down. And here it's vertical, so up, and then to the right. So we plot that first, so 1, 2. There's your first point. And then from that point, I go up 1, right 5. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, next problem. Y equals 6 times x minus 3. Okay, so I've got the y and the x, but again, they're on opposite sides. So the best, most efficient way to graph it is with the slope and the y-intercept, okay? All right, so my slope is always the x multiplier, which is 6, but that needs to be a ratio because you need a number under it. So if you don't have anything under it, it's a 1. Okay, and then my y-intercept, there's a 3 being subtracted, so that can be -3. Okay, so my y-intercept is vertical, and then my slope is positive, so up and then to the right. Okay, so I stay in the middle, go down 1, 2, 3. And then the slope moves from the first point, not from the middle. Okay, it's not really a table. So I go up 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right 1. Okay, and I don't need to really do it again. So there you go. Okay, my next problem, y equals, and then it just says 4. Okay, so here's y, but there's no x. So there's no x, we only have y. Okay, so that would be down here in this third category of linear equations to graph. Okay, but this time it's only a y with no x. Okay, so if there's no x, if x ain't even in here, we're just going to put 1, 2, 3 under it. The one that I have none of is where I put the 1, 2, 3. Now, the variable that I only have in there, I just put what I see it's equal to. It's equal to 4. So 4, 4, 4. Okay. Okay, so the x's, those are all positive, so they all go to the right. And the y's, well, it's either up or down, but they're all positive, so they would all go up. Okay. All right, so remember, we graph them one at a time. So with 1, I go up 4 first. That's graphed. With 2, I go up 4 back to the middle. Whenever we're doing a table of values, back to the middle. 2, it's not like a slope. Okay, and then 3, 4. Okay. I go 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so my line this time is straight, horizontal. Okay, hopefully that brought back how to do some things, and yeah.